Hey, you're listening to Marketing Out Loud, a daily podcast where I share advice, stories, and insights to help you build a thriving consulting or professional services practice. To subscribe to the show, head over to marketingoutloud.fm. I wish I could take credit for what I'm about to share with you in today's episode, but the truth is, I just heard this from one of my mentors, and it's completely kind of shifted my mindset, and I wanted to get on here and share it with you ASAP because I think it'll shift your mindset too. You've got two things that you could focus on: circumstances or choices. Average players focus on circumstances. People who struggle focus on circumstances. People who want to win but don't know how to win focus on circumstances. Circumstances are, I don't have enough clients. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough cash in the bank. Our revenue isn't high enough. We had a bad month last month. This client doesn't want to work with us anymore. This client is unhappy. I'm tired of working with these clients. I'm not fulfilled by the work anymore. I don't really feel like doing this. These are circumstances. They're realities, and I'm not saying that you should completely ignore reality, but if you've got to choose where to focus your attention, focusing on the circumstances is a great way to feel like everything is going wrong and nothing can ever go right, and the whole thing is all going to come crashing down. That's what it'll do. When you focus on circumstances, and that's not to say that there aren't positive circumstances, but the nature of circumstances and the nature of the human mind is we tend to focus on the negative. One of my clients told me this stat recently. Deborah, if you're listening, I need to know where you got this stat from because I completely forget. But it was something crazy, like 80% of the thoughts that go through the human brain are negative. Something crazy like that. And that doesn't come as a surprise to me because I know my mind, I know my brain, and I know what it feeds me, day in and day out. And it's mostly negative if I'm not very deliberate and mindful about how I think. If I let my mind do its thing, it's always going to focus on the negative circumstances, the things that are not going well. Problem is, if you leave your focus there, that puts you in a place of weakness, not in a place of strength. That puts you in a position of disempowerment, not in a position of empowerment. When you focus on circumstances, you rob yourself of the ability to change your circumstances. You rob yourself of the ability to make choices. And that is the flip side. That instead of focusing on circumstances, you need to focus on choices. The reality is, your circumstances are the product of your choices. You've made decisions in the past. You've made choices in the past that have created the reality that you're experiencing today. Okay? And that is a bright line between winners and losers. I don't mean losers in a derogatory sense. We want everyone to win, but the reality is some people win and some people don't. And the difference is that the people who don't win focus on circumstances, and the people who win focus on choices. Because when you focus on choices, that puts you in a place of empowerment. Because you come to realize that, okay, well, things might not be ideal today. While I might not be exactly where I want to be today, I made choices in the past that created these circumstances. And if you think long and hard about it, and if you have a critical mind, you can probably identify the choices you've made in the past that created today's circumstances. So when I was an unhappy senior accountant at Ernst & Young, my circumstances were not great. I didn't like my job. I didn't like the career path I had chosen. I'd spent all this money and all this time investing in this path, and I no longer wanted to do it. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no idea what was out there for me. And those circumstances were the product of my decision in business school to pursue accounting because I thought that's a great way to make a lot of money. I don't want to say a bad decision because I also believe that I am the product of my experiences. I don't regret going down that path. But those circumstances in the moment were not great. And they were the product of a decision that I had made, a choice that I had made in the past. In the same way that my circumstances today, both the good and the bad, are largely the byproduct of the choice I made 4 or 5 some odd years ago to leave my job and to start a business. That was a choice that I made. And every single day and every week and every month, you and I were both making choices. And when you begin to realize that these choices, big and small, will create the circumstances of tomorrow, then all of a sudden, you feel like you're in control. You feel like you are empowered. You feel like you can shape the future by making the right choices today. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. You got 2 places to put your attention: on your circumstances and on your choices. Circumstances create weakness. Choices create strength.
Hey, thanks for listening. Do me a favor, if you like what you hear, go on iTunes and leave us a rating and a review because it helps more people discover the show. Thanks so much.